My maid of honor's bad habits will ruin my wedding, so I'm removing her. Okay, here we go. I, 32 female, am getting married in less than a month. I have 2 maids of honors and 2 more bridesmaids. My maids of honors are Rachel, 33 female, and Megan, 33 female. I met them during COVID. They were already really close, but the 3 of us became very close very quickly and have maintained an equal best friend dynamic. Until recently, I have friends that I've known longer, but for a few years now, I've been closest with them. By the way, this comes from user Routine Curious 8181 on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, Megan's an addict. When I met her, she was not using, but I've seen her relapse 4 times since. Opioids, perks, snorting H. Rachel and I do none of these things. Addiction is hard, people.
Yeah.
The first 2 times, she went to a detox facility. When she uses, she really distances herself and lies. In the past, I've been really supportive and I try to be there for her. Megan and I's relationship has had some rocky points. At the beginning of summer, Rachel, Megan, and I added some events to our calendars we wanted to go to. One was a music festival hosted by a place Rachel worked at. She was to get us free tickets. Rachel ended up leaving her job, so I didn't bring up the event and no one else did either. Turns out they went to the festival without me.
No.
Oh no.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's not very friendly behavior.
That's not very cool. That's not cash money.
Yeah, that is very not cash money. I was upset, and Megan said things like, well, you could have asked if anyone was interested in going, but any one of us could have. And since they went, they clearly talked about the event without me.
Yeah, it seems like one of them said, hey, Megan, do you want to go? And not in the group chat.
Yeah, and then Megan was like, sure, as long as OP's not going.
Yeah, definitely not
like,
want OP there.
Why didn't you ask us? We made plans without you. You should have asked.
You should have preempted that.
Yeah. Megan got a little nasty with me when I was upset. She kept telling me I was in the wrong for feeling left out, but eventually I just let that go. Rachel was much nicer, and I know that she felt really bad. She also brought up that she thinks Megan was using again. Next, as my maid of honor, Megan was appointed to plan the Bachelorette trip. She's a type A planning type of person, so she was all about it. I suggested a couple locations, and she planned the rest. It was to be the bridal party plus my other really close friend, Kim. I wanted to include some other close friends, but Megan said we couldn't find a large enough Airbnb to be able to include anyone else. We all live a couple hours apart these days, but Megan, Rachel, Kim, and I were going to meet and drive the 5 hours together to the destination. It was a fun little 5-hour road trip.
We love it.
Sure, nothing bad could possibly happen during that.
You guys are all besties.
Yeah, besties.
No
Stuck in the
road
car
bumps.
for 5 hours where nothing bad will happen.
No, you can just drive in silence.
This was also an exciting part of the planning because Megan and Rachel were going to stay over at my place the night before, Wednesday, to help them break up the drive. So we'd all catch up in our closer group and have a fun night in together. Come Monday, Rachel says that she's going to have to work on Wednesday from 9 to 4 and would be too tired to drive the 3 hours to me afterwards. So she would drive herself to the destination instead. I was upset by this change. I was also a bit upset with Kim. She's deciding to not come to the wedding because she wants to attend another Bachelorette trip instead. She's not in that bridal party either. Yeah, I'd be upset at that too.
Yeah,
that
sounds
plans. Like she's just like, yeah, I'm going to bail on this for just another wedding. I feel like
this
it's gonna
one
be
seems
better.
kind of boring.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do another one.
Yeah, if it's not clear that I don't like you, let me make it perfectly clear.
I'm so
bailing.
Clear.
So it was important to me to also have Megan and Rachel's company for the drive. Tuesday night comes and Megan calls me saying she's going to drive to Rachel and instead drive with her. Rachel did not request this. I understand not wanting to be alone or having someone be alone, but this is a really special occasion for me and a special time in my life, and I just wanted to feel chosen and felt special.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you had plans.
Yeah. This was planned, folks.
Yeah.
This made me feel ditched and that they didn't care about the situation between Kim and I, even though they were previously very disappointed in Kim. Megan said she didn't understand why it was a big deal that plans were changing. Kim and I end up having a great drive up. We get to the Airbnb last night and I hug everyone, tell them all the decorations look great, etc. And the first night we just settled in. Some of them were meeting for the first time. If it helps to paint the picture, only one other is married. There are some serious boyfriends though, and nobody has kids. We're slower these days, but we're still down to go out and drink and have fun. The next night, we get dressed up and went out to dinner. We decided the next night was going to be the go all out night, so we don't drink all that much and decide to go back to the Airbnb and play games instead of staying out at bars. Yeah, you got to pace yourself.
God, pace yourself.
Say,
God, drink water.
This is not the all-in night, ladies.
No, you're slowing
That's
down.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
The next morning, Kim, another bridesmaid, and I were all together chatting, waiting for everyone else to wake up. Megan walks over to us and says she's been barfing all night and needs to go home so she can see a doctor.
And of course, we know who's going to go with her.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion I know who's going with her.
I have a little bitty suspicion.
Yeah. She says that she's been sick for a long time. She mentioned going to urgent care because it's the weekend. She has a history of leaving festivals, vacations, and any multi-night gathering thing early and wants to leave early because she's either not loving the event or because she's sick. I was upset but remained neutral and said I hope she feels better. Knowing she does this, I had hoped and thought she'd be able to make it through my Bachelorette weekend. She is my best friend and my maid of honor. Yeah, for it.
She's your literal maid of honor. This is your Bachelorette weekend. She's dropping out.
These maids of honor are honorless.
No honor in these maids.
Since Rachel drove her, they both swiftly leave. Rachel feels bad for leaving and texts everyone individually with words of kindness when she gets home, but we never hear from Megan. I text Megan Monday after I've been home for a day, just asked how she was doing. She didn't go see a doctor. I said I knew seeing a doctor was really important to her and I was sad that she left. She said, I'm sorry me prioritizing my health made you sad.
She literally just said I was sad you left.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a bummer that you had to leave.
Now she's being like, well, it's your fault that you're sad. Sorry that I have to be healthy. It's like, just be my friend.
Come on.
OP's just really trying to have a friend and she won't have it. I found that was very defensive for no reason and unhelpful. I replied, that's not what I said. I was hoping she'd check on me and the rest of the trip or something. During the trip, she was also getting upset when other people knew more about me than her and if someone else took the lead on things like getting us to the next destination.
So she's being possessive, but also doesn't even want to be there?
Distant and possessive.
Interesting.
She also got upset over money and was vocal about it, but she planned the trip, so that really confuses me. So we didn't talk for a couple of weeks. She told Rachel she was upset with me because I didn't appreciate her enough for the trip. Multiple times I had hugged her, said thank you, taken pictures with just her, and noted, quote, that was a great thing that you planned. Good pick. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it sounds like
OP's trying to be like, hey, I really appreciate everything you did for me. I just was checking in.
Yeah. OP's just trying really hard to keep the trifecta alive.
Yeah, she's trying to keep the trio together.
And Megan is not having it.
No.
Head counts are due for the venue and the hotel. If blocked rooms aren't used, we have to pay for them, so we want to reallocate if we still can. I text her in a friendly manner just to check in and confirm her and her boyfriend are coming for rehearsal, wedding, and staying in the hotel. No response. So the next day, I ask if everything's okay, and the next day, I call her. A week goes by and still no response. I know she's lightly responding to Rachel during this time. My wedding is weeks away, so I ask somebody else. Huh?
And she's the maid of honor.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
it's like you're a big cornerstone
you're a
of this
big
event.
part of this event.
You can't just
you can't just dip.
You can't just go complete radio silent.
Come on. Especially when she's texting Rachel.
Lightly texting Rachel.
Rachel's sending memes and she's thumbsing them.
Yeah, she's just giving thumbs up. My wedding is weeks away, so I ask someone if they want her room, but I include Megan in the head counts for the venue still. Rachel group texts us asking us to make up. I say I've reached out to her and I'm confused and I want her to be part of everything, but at this point she can reach out to me if there's anything that she wants to resolve. That is a perfectly reasonable response to that.
Tried so many times.
Yeah, she's like, I'm literally not even upset. Yeah. I just want her to tell me directly what's going on.
This sucks.
She immediately responds, agrees, and says she hasn't been honest with us. Then she privately texts me and asks to schedule a call so she can explain things. We have a pretty short call. She admits that she was using for 2 months, which overlaps with the Bachelorette trip, and has been sober for 2 weeks. She says she caught it in time and didn't need to go to treatment, nor tell her boyfriend, nor her sister who she lives with sister's husband and young child. I can't imagine this is a successful sobriety attempt. She says her boyfriend broke up with her because she hung out with her extremely toxic ex via text. I ask her how she plans to heal, if she's going to start therapy because she's been talking about it for over a year, and she keeps deflecting. Half of those details that she shares because I ask, she really didn't seem like she was trying to talk about anything much. She also seemed annoyed when I asked questions. To be fair, I could have been more supportive, but she never takes any accountability, and I feel like I'm enabling her if I don't stick up for myself. But I also understand that my questions came from a place place of frustration, and it's probably not up to me to make her accountable. I'm being calm the entire time. She says that's all I wanted to tell you. I said I thought there was going to be a little more based on her text about explaining things, talking about the Bachelorette trip or if she's upset with me, and she said no, that was it. So I said, okay, well, I want the best for you and I hope that you're doing better and can continue to heal, but I want you to know this friendship has been hard on me lately. I have to make some decisions for myself right now too, and I want to be around people who can uplift me and support me. I wanted to get to wedding things, but about her, if she planned on coming, etc., she laughed and hung up. I called her back twice and she sent me to voicemail.
It's so hard. It's like she obviously is going through her own stuff right now.
Yeah, it seems like she's in an active episode of addiction.
Yes. And it's spiraling a little bit, not wanting to tell the people around her, barely even wanting to tell OP. And
then OP's like, yeah, I just want to support you and I just want to talk about stuff. She's like, huh. Click, goodbye.
Yeah.
Laugh and hung up.
I think
that is active addiction behavior.
Yeah. I think it's just saying you know what? I don't think you can be my maid of honor because clearly you have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
If you come to the wedding, you come to the wedding. But
yeah. By the way, you can join us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap on our profile. So, in the past month when I've reached out, she's either been defensive, ignored me, or laughs and hangs up on me. I honestly don't know what her goal of the call was, but based on those last attempts, I'd feel like I'm begging her to be my friend and that I have to baby her to get her to be my friend. What else am I supposed to do here? I know I can be more supportive of her and try to understand addiction more, but my wedding is 2 weeks away and I don't feel like I can hold space for someone who keeps rejecting me, whether it's personal or not. I really just want to be happy and feel a little special during this time in my life. Rachel says I should text her something like, how can I be there for you right now? But the more I try or think about it, all the worse I start to feel about myself. So am I the a-hole if I don't reach out to Megan? And we do have an update.
Damn.
I don't think you'd be the a-hole, OP. I mean, we all have close friends, and when they go through stuff, we want to be able to be there for them. But
there's only so much you can do without it hurting yourself.
So here's the update. She's in town for the weekend. Friday, she asked if I wanted to meet for a drink. I went. I told her I think I'm making her feel worse, and she's also making me feel worse. I told her with what each of us have going on, we can't be there to support each other right now, and she said that she can understand how I'd think I'm the third wheel and knows if she communicated more, things would be different right now. At this point, I really assumed that she wasn't coming to the wedding, but she brought up her speech, so she still thought she was coming as the maid of honor. I told her that she's not speaking, and she started bawling.
I mean, he tried so many times to reach out to her.
She thinks she was only not present for 3 weeks and doesn't think this is valid, nor the thought that I didn't think she was coming. She's really sorry and saying she loves me and our friendship is better than this. I'm at a loss.
Ooh.
And that is the end.